We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Reviews. Today I am reviewing the newest MCU movie, Thunderbolts, Asterix. Starring quite a wide variety of characters, we have returning as the Winter Soldier, and also Bucky. We have Sebastian Stan. We have Florence Pugh back as Yelena Belova, who was, from what we remember, the sister of Natasha Romanoff, who was in Black Widow. And as her father, we have as Red Guardian, we have David Harbour back as Alexei Shostakov, and as also from Black Widow, we have Taskmaster being played by Olga Kurylenko. And as well from Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, or actually, no, not Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, just Ant-Man and the Wasp, we have Ghost, being played by Hannah John Kamen, and from, what is it, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we have U.S. Agent being played by Wyatt Russell. If you remember, he was basically the guy that the government made Captain America after Steve Rogers took the shield, he retired the shield, and he went a little nuts and killed someone. Now he's U.S. Agent.
I am Captain America.
And as well, we also have Lewis Pullman playing this guy named Bob. More on him later. And leading this team of Thunderbolts, we have director Allegra De Fontaine being played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So yeah, basically they're being led by Elaine.
Elaine.
Fun. Anyway, so yeah, now let's get into this. So this movie, it takes place a little bit after Captain America Brave New World. Basically, it starts off with Yelena. She's been doing missions for Valentina, and she successfully does another mission at this place, at a place in Singapore, and she learns about this thing called Project Sentry, which is very interesting, run by this company called Ox, and by Ox it's OXE. I don't know what it stands for, and this is run by Valentina. She is now also being questioned by Congress due to the fact that some of the things that she's been doing have been kind of suspicious and very interesting. So she's being questioned before Congress about whether or not she should face jail time or anything like that, which our actual Congress did things like this, so they seem to not want to. And Bucky's watching this. He's not really involved in it, since he is also now a Congress member, which is also something that we learned in Brave New World in his little cameo. Oh, he is just watching this, and he doesn't really want to get involved. Meanwhile, Yelena, as she comes back from this mission, she goes to visit her dad, Alexei Red Guardian, at his Baltimore apartment. He's also now a limo driver, retired from everything, and he just, he wants to get back into being a superhero. He wants to feel needed again. And Yelena just feels like she just feels kind of empty. She doesn't feel like she's happy with what she's doing. So after she sees her dad, she gets a call from Valentina that she has one final mission to go to this secret bunker, and she has to try to kill someone that's going to try to steal it. So, and this takes place right after the Congress, I guess, being brought before the jury of Congress, being brought before this committee. So she is being brought down. So Yelena goes to this place and she sees the person that she has to try to stop, which we recognize it right away as Ghost. So Yelena goes in, Yelena goes in after Ghost. They go into this secret bunker where there's more stuff about this Project Sentry, and she finds Ghost. She also finds U.S. agent, what's his name, Walt. U.S. agent, and they also find Taskmaster. So all four of them get into a big fight. They all just punch and shoot each other and just use all their abilities, and then they stop and they realize that all of them were sent by Valentina to this place to kill one another, and they all begin to wonder, was this like just a setup by Valentina to try to get rid of them? Which this actually was a setup by Valentina to get rid of them, get rid of like all of her loose ends and all the evidence to what she's been doing. And in the middle of this like discussion, I believe it was Ava, Ghost, she shoots and kills Taskmaster. Like literally, Taskmaster just dies, which we all kind of figured she was not gonna last long because she really wasn't in much of the trailers. Like literally, she. Like every single time, like every single person that like was in the theater was not like surprised at all when Taskmaster died. Like it was just like, yeah, we kind of saw that coming. We didn't expect it so soon, but yeah, like she just done. Like she just got shot in the head and she's dead. So then all of a sudden, this guy Bob appears, barefoot and confused.
Oh no.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. You were all sent?
They wonder who the hell is this guy because he literally just appears and he has no memory. He has like complete amnesia to where he is, like how he got there. And then the room begins to glow red and a timer goes down, which the room is about to explode and Valentina is about to kill them. So Ghost, she phases out, and through a little bit of teamwork, she's able to open up a door so that all of them can get out of that incinerator before it goes off. And meanwhile, while this is going on, Bucky, he is like doing his own investigation of Valentina to try, with a little bit of like Winter Soldier in there, here and there, to try to like bring her in, because Valentina, through congressional means, is not really cooperating, and it doesn't seem like she's really going to be taken down with this congressional meeting. Meanwhile, the four, I guess, people in the bunker, they need to try to get out. And so then Bob actually comes up with the idea they need to climb basically like an elevator shaft. Bob comes up with the idea to try to basically like lock arms and then crawl up the shaft using their legs, all together using teamwork. And Bob, he's very interesting. He touches, like he briefly touches like Yelena, and she has like one of her worst memories where back when she was in the Red Room, she actually ended up tricking one of her fellow Red Room or fellow widows in training into basically being shot and killed, which was also like another initiation for her to get further into the program. And that's just very interesting. It was dark watching that also, by the way. But anyway, the four of them, they together all slowly make their way up that elevator shaft, even though they all hate it. And meanwhile, Valentina is watching this like on security cameras, and she also is just very curious because she doesn't know who Bob is until she realizes that Bob is actually the first and at this moment only successful like person that survived Project Sentry, which is basically to make a new superhero named Sentry. who is like insanely powerful because, well, at this moment there are no Avengers, as she was saying to Congress earlier. That's why this is necessary. So eventually they just nearly make it to the elevator, and John Walker, that's what's his name? That's U.S. agent. He decides to go all. He tries to escape all on his own, and Bob ends up inadvertently stops him and touches him, and he also sees his worst memory, which is when his wife and with his son and wife end up leaving him in a divorce. And then as they are about to leave the building, they see they are surrounded by SWAT, and Valentina's out there, and they have to try to devise a plan. They come up with a plan that Ghost will go turn invisible and try to get a vehicle for them. Meanwhile, Walker, Yelena, and Bob, they're just gonna try to just go guns a-blazing outside and try to stay hidden and stay in disguise. So eventually the SWAT, they storm the building, and they are able, and madness breaks out. But luckily, the three of them, they are able to get some of the SWAT team members' gear and be disguised and sneak out. And eventually, they find where Ghost is, and they get a vehicle and they try to drive away. But they're inadvertently caught, and Bob ends up breaking out. So that way the other three can get out, and they try to shoot at the SWAT team. They try to shoot at him, but the bullets have no effect on him, and he ends up flying, and then he passes out. And then he is captured by Valentina and brought to Avengers Tower, which is now nicknamed it's actually revealed back in Spider-Man Homecoming. So Valentina bought Avengers Tower, and she now has it, and she is calling it the Watchtower. So Bob is brought to New York. Meanwhile, the other three, they are making their way through the desert, trying to just get out and be on the run. And then they are picked up by Red Guardian, by Alexei, Yelena's dad, and in his limo, and they begin to drive off somewhere just to get out of there. And then there is a convoy that finds them, that opens fire on them, and very hilariously, Red Guardian's limo is not equipped for combat.
You got a convoy approaching fast. Step on it.
Come on, baby.
Okay, a bit faster, please.
Lexi!
Okay, don't worry. Engaging defensive measures.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's not supposed
Oh my god.
And then they are saved by Bucky, who takes out the convoy, but then proceeds to capture them and use them as evidence against Valentina.
Is that Bucky?
It's a Winter Soldier. That guy is so cool. That's what I talk about!
That's not good.
And meanwhile, in Avengers Tower, I should say the Watchtower, Bob wakes up, and Valentina introduces him to who he is going to be. That he is going to be Sentry, who is basically the strongest character in Marvel, and who is going to be the new superhero of Earth and the United States. As he is beginning to use his powers. So then they are able. Bucky, he captures Ghost, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, and Yelena, and they basically then as they are about to leave, he gets a call from basically Valentina's assistant about Bob, who she is very concerned about him, because the thing about Sentry is, or Bob, we should say, is while Sentry is the strongest character in Marvel, like by far. He's one of the strong, like literally he's basically Marvel's answer to Superman. But the bad part of him is that he is a severely mentally ill and unstable person. And she is very concerned about that, the fact that this dude's so mentally unstable, like, if you let him get his powers, then it's not going to be good really for anyone. So she is very concerned, and she calls Bucky about this, and so Bucky gets his 4 now. He releases the Thunderbolts, and then all 4 of them, or I should say at this point 5 of them, go to Avengers Tower to try to stop Valentina and save Bob. So they arrive outside, and they beat up a bunch of the guards, and then Valentina literally just buzzes down to them like, hey, like, the door's open, you guys can just come right up. All 5 of them go on up.
How crazy is it to think of all the monumental fights that happened exactly here where you're standing? I mean, the place wasn't cheap, but it's got good optics. Look at you. You are all so adorable.
Eat shit, Valentina.
And they meet Sentry. He is all decked out in his comic accurate costume, and yeah, they get into a fight with him, and yeah, they do terribly against him. Like they are a fairly strong bunch. I mean, there are 3 super soldiers, and they are 2 high-level assassins, one with incredible abilities, but against Sentry, who is basically Marvel's, as I said, Marvel's answer to Superman, and easily one of the strongest characters in Marvel, they can't do anything to him. Like, they can't touch him. Like, literally, of all characters, Sentry is like the worst one that they could fight.
Witness the invincible, stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
So, yeah, they get their asses kicked.
You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
And sent like to the point where like they try to escape. Valentina doesn't want them to escape, and she wants Sentry to like kill them and stop them. But like Sentry even like asks her like, why? Like they're no threat to me. Like they can't do anything to me. And Sentry, like, he begins to like corner Valentina and wanting to kill her because she's trying to control him, when really like someone like Sentry can't be controlled. And she actually, like, just as she's about to be cornered and killed by Sentry, she actually activates like a little, like, not failsafe, but like a kill switch that they had, that she put inside of him, and like something to knock him out or kill him. But she actually it's actually her assistant that actually ends up pressing it, and she like successfully like knocks him out. The Thunderbolts go outside. They feel defeated, especially Elena. She feels like really like she can't do, like, they can't do this. They can't stop Sentry. They can't stop Valentina.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
And she walks off being angry and sad and scared. And the team kind of like breaks up. The quote-unquote Thunderbolts kind of break up right then and there. Meanwhile, Valentina and her assistant try to recover Bob's body, but the body is gone. And meanwhile, while this is happening, Red Guardian talks to Yelena, who she basically says how she's super like depressed. She feels like she can't do anything. Like all she does is go out killing people, and then she comes back to drink herself nearly to the point of blacking out. Like, she feels super depressed and very upset, like, with her life, and just like she feels like a failure. And Red Guardian gives her like a supportive speech, like, yeah, like, you know, despite you being not the best, doing horrible things, like, you're not your mistakes. You are better. You can be better. And also the other Thunderbolts then go into also support back that, like, yeah, they've all been where Yelena is. All of them have bad, shady past, and they can't let that define them.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
So then they officially come together as a team, and they call themselves the Thunderbolts, even though some of them don't really like that name. Also, the Thunderbolts, it's not even based off Thunderbolt Ross. It's based off like Yelena's old like soccer team that they were on, which was funny. Like I figured it would be based off Thunderbolt Ross, but that's not the case. But anyway, as they begin to form into a team, outside they see a man that looks like Bob, but he's not Bob. He is flying, and he is completely covered in shadow. He is the Void. Basically, Sentry's alter ego, who is pure evil. He takes down helicopters, he destroys a crane, like he basically calls in chaos. And the Thunderbolts, they spring into action, not to stop him, but to save all the civilians that are in harm's way.
This team can be the heroes.
They save all of the civilians, like, successfully with very little deaths or injuries, and the people begin to praise them. The Void, he begins to expand like Shadow, which basically, it's similar to what Bob did to Yelena and U.S. Agent earlier, where they basically get sucked into like their shadow, I guess like their shadow realm or something like that, and they end up constantly experiencing their worst memories over and over again. And like he basically just begins to engulf all of New York into this just giant shadow, and just, you know, into this like realm that he's creating. And Yelena, she undauntedly just walks right into it, not afraid to face her fears, but wanting to try to save Bob, in a sense, from himself. So she goes in, sees many of her worst memories. I was hoping we would get like a Black Widow cameo, but we didn't get that. And she eventually finds Bob, who is basically hiding, like, in his, like, who's also in, like, mentally he's basically stuck in his own head. Like, he really is just hiding from himself. He's letting the Void take over, basically, like, kind of letting his mental illness rule over him. So the other Thunderbolts, they appear, and they basically go with Bob through his worst memories and help him get through it, until eventually they find his worst memory, which is actually where he got his powers, when he got his powers, and he ended up killing the two people that gave him his powers, where the Void first came out. And Bob, now unafraid of the Void, begins to punch him, which in a sense is also him like beating up his mental illness, which I'm not a therapist, but I don't think that really is supposed to help you get over your mental illness by punching it in the face. Meanwhile, he does this, and the Void begins to be taken over by the Void, but the Thunderbolts, they pull him back together. They all pull him out of it, and eventually, they end up beating the Void, and the Void just goes away, and everything goes back to normal. And Bob also doesn't remember anything of what happened. So New York then is normal. Everyone is okay. And then they go to try to go after Valentina, because she kind of caused all this. And they are immediately, they follow her to a press conference where she was about to announce Sentry, but then she announces the Thunderbolts, or I should say asterisk, the new Avengers, as they are now. And everyone claps for them, and they are now the new Avengers, quote unquote. And then the movie ends, and we see the mid and post-credit scenes. The mid-credit scene is a funny little thing where the new Avengers are now on cereal boxes. They're on the Wheaties box, and Red Guardian is trying to get a woman to recognize him from the box, and it doesn't work out so well for him. And then the second post-credit scene, or not the second, but the post-credit scene, it takes place 14 months after they're at their new hideout, and apparently they're in a little legal dispute with Sam Wilson and the other Avengers, because he's suing them for the right of the Avengers name. Why, we don't know. I guess we will find out soon. And all of a sudden, there's apparently a new there's some space thing going on, some space conflict going on, and they get on their television screen, they see a spaceship coming towards Earth with a 4 on it, which we know who that is. it's the Fantastic Four. They are here. And yeah, as we know, next year everyone is going to be in Avengers Doomsday because Doctor Doom is coming to Earth 616, because the multiverse is dying and, you know, worlds are colliding.
This is not good. Worlds are colliding. George is getting upset.
So yeah, and then the movie ends. And all in all, I gotta say, I really like this movie. Like, all the characters really did well. Like all the actors did well playing their respective characters, and they all really had this good chemistry. Like, the movie's like main focus was on Yelena and Red Guardian and Bob, but like, despite all that, like, Bucky and everyone, like, they all really like played very well. They all got a good amount of screen time, except really Taskmaster, because, you know, she got killed off. And also Ghost kind of got shafted a little bit, but I feel like, in a way, her story was kind of already told. Like, she, like, went through already what Yelena and Bob went through. Same thing with Bucky, but he got more screen time because, you know, at this point, he's the OG Avenger. He's literally been here since Phase 1. And as well, like, Lewis Pullman really did well with Sentry, and I'm excited to see him again. And I'm just excited to see the Thunderbolts, or I should say the New Avengers. I'm just going to call them Thunderbolts because I just think that name's cooler. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus really did well playing Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Like, she just, like, brought, like, this evil, this, like, dark, power-hungry version of Nick Fury, like, to the forefront. It was very entertaining to watch her just be, like, manipulative and just evil. Like, it really just was very entertaining to watch. I really liked watching her, and now, like, also they kind of own her in a sense. Like, the Thunderbolts, they own Valentina, so she's kind of, like, they're kind of calling the shots now, which is really funny. But, yeah, all in all, I really like this movie. I mean, the only thing I'm sad about with this movie is, like, this movie really, I feel like it should have set up, like, a conflict between, which it kind of is, like a conflict between the Thunderbolts and the actual Avengers, but it looks like we're not really going to be getting that because, well, now next year, Avengers Doomsday is coming out, and, well, you know, Marvel, they're kind of trying to just do away with the multiverse saga, and it's like, I really feel like this could have, like, been a drawn-out story of the Thunderbolts versus the Avengers, and that also kind of, like, could play into why, you know, everything's going to happen and fall apart for Earth 616, but, well, you know, that's not really this movie's fault. But yeah, overall, I would recommend you go see it. I mean, this film is still in theaters. Go see the Thunderbolts, or as it's now also being called, the New Avengers. You know, go see it, go watch it, enjoy it. Overall, I give this movie like a solid A-. Like, go watch it. It's a very fun movie. It's like easily, I think, it's like, might be, in terms of like new Marvel movies, it just might be like my favorite Marvel movie, like MCU movie, since Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like 2 years ago. Like, this is a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. It felt like the old Avengers movies, honestly. And also, like, this movie is the first MCU, like, anything that feels like it wasn't affected by, like, massive reshoots or, like, changing of what the MCU's direction is going to be. Like, it feels like this movie really, like, it had a script. Maybe there was, like, a couple changes here and there, but, like, it wasn't, like, completely overhauled, like, and, like, torn apart like Captain America Brave New World was. And yeah, like, I'm excited to see the Thunderbolts again. But anyway, let's get into the next movie we're going to be reviewing. It is from the John Wick universe. So here's the trailer.
You are him. The one they call the Baba Yaga. How do I start doing what you do?
Looks like you already have.
So yeah, we're watching Ballerina. I can't wait to see this movie. I'm very curious. to see like just how this will work. I'm excited to see, Keanu Reeves again for, I guess it'll be like his cameo as John Wick. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. Tell me, what did you think of the Thunderbolts? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you even see it? And yeah, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
It's over.